MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
President Biden remains defiant. I'm Jared Hill with how the Biden campaign is pushing back against calls he leave the race, plus what CBS News has learned about a Sunday conversation among top Democrats.
And right off the top this hour, how to keep your yard beautiful, but also fire safe this summer season. Alrighty, it is 6 o'clock on this Monday, July 8th, and I gotta say, this is one of my favorite views over in the Miami
Yeah, isn't
City.
it fun this time of morning?
Especially during sunrise. It's lovely.
It is gorgeous. We were just watching the flooding in Galveston and out across Houston.
Whoa.
Wow, what a difference. And for us, it's nearly picture perfect. And to our south, wow.
Yeah, they're going through a lot right now.
Yeah, we'll be talking more about that throughout the morning, I'm sure. So, temperature-wise, we're okay. We're into the 40s. We've got clear skies, no wind, no rain. It's a double-edged sword without the rain. We'll barely even see a cloud today, so do what you can to stay prepared, sunglasses, sunscreen, drink plenty of water, check on the elderly, just make sure everybody's doing all right. Everybody doesn't mind, nobody minds a call saying, hey, you doing okay? Yeah. Okay, good. Temperatures back into the mid-80s for the afternoon. The real heat begins Tuesday, Wednesday, and through the end of the week. I'm going to break it all down for you in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now, we know living in Montana, we are no stranger to drought or wildfires, and there's a new group that is working to beautify lawns, all while keeping your home safe. Edgar Cedillo spoke with the Big Sky Fire Department about the group this work is aiming to do.
You know, and we know that in Big Sky we're 96% higher risk of wildfire than the rest of the nation.
The Big Sky Fire Department and 3 other community groups came together to form Alpin Scapes. It's a group that promotes planting sustainable landscaping to reduce wildfire risk.
Initial 0 to 5 foot and that 0 to 30 foot landscaping around a structure is one of the most important things that determines whether or not a structure is going to be able to survive on its own.
Alpin Scapes aims to educate homeowners on what to grow or decorate in their gardens.
You know, focus on that area of the home and to make that non-combustible.
As Montana dries up, the group also aims to promote water-wise plants to reduce water consumption.
Think about how wildfires start. Embers come in and they hit a home, right, and then they fall down next to the home.
Big Sky Fire Chief Dustin Tatro says that the biggest thing to avoid close to your home,
you know, nothing with needles, nothing with cones, obviously, kind of in that initial 5 foot.
Tatro also says that maintaining the plants in the 5 to 30 foot range is key to keeping plants from engulfing into flames.
Outwards of that 30 feet, you know, just trying to minimize those types of that type of vegetation that's within that 30 foot space.
Tatro says that there are plants that help reduce wildfire risk and are still drought resistant.
It's chokecherries, aspens, and a lot of those, you know, more trees that hold their moisture.
Alpin Scapes has a list of hundreds of plants that are optimal to grow in southwest Montana and still look good in lawns.
The Alpin Scapes team has worked really tirelessly to go through and vet, hundreds and hundreds of plants to be able to give folks a really good list of plants to choose from.
Thank you very much, Edgar. Now, if you would like more information on Alpin Scapes, we're going to have a link over on our website to check them out. Now, on the national scene, President Biden faces a critical few days in Washington as he hosts world leaders for a NATO summit. He spent yesterday on the campaign trail in battleground Pennsylvania as he continues to try to shore up support among members of his party. Still, more Democratic lawmakers joined growing calls for the president to step aside with just 4 months until the election. CBS News' Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
Well, you have to convince NATO that you're up for the job.
President Joe Biden leaving Pennsylvania defiant in the face of questions about whether he's fit to serve another term. The president saying he's up for the job, even as members of his own party push for him to bow out of the 2024 race.
We got a lot to do, folks, but we can do it. We're on the cusp of getting so much done.
On the ground, the president got support from the state's Democratic governor and 2 U.S. senators.
I am proud to stand right here next to this president right now. He's my president. He's your president.
But over the weekend, more House Democrats publicly called on Mr. Biden to step aside. And CBS News has learned that during a virtual meeting Sunday, at least 4 senior House Democrats said the president should end his bid for re-election. That's according to one person on the call and 3 others familiar with the meeting. Others on the call reportedly expressed reservations but stopped short of calling for his withdrawal.
Either he has to win overwhelmingly or he has to pass the torch to someone who can't. It's as simple as that.
Even Pennsylvania voters who support the president are split over the path forward.
He's a fantastic man, and he's done wonderful stuff, but it's time for him to leave.
The party should stand up, stand behind him, and stop all the rhetoric and backbiting.
President Biden has a jam-packed week hosting the NATO summit in Washington, during which he'll also hold his first solo U.S. news conference in several months. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And President Biden also plans to head back on the campaign trail at the end of the week with a rally in Michigan. Meanwhile, his Republican opponent, former President Donald Trump, has rallies planned this week in Florida and in Pennsylvania. That's ahead of next week's Republican National Convention, during which Trump will formally accept his party's nomination. Now, back in some Treasure State headlines, a Great Falls native continues to make strides in the battle against Alzheimer's disease. MTN's Tim McGonigal met with the McLaughlin Research Institute scientist to learn how a multi-million-dollar grant will help better understand this disease that affects nearly 7 million Americans.
North Central Montana might not be the first place that comes to mind when you think of cutting-edge research in the fight against Alzheimer's disease. But the McLaughlin Research Institute is among the finest, and now a homegrown researcher will continue that reputation, thanks in part to a sizable grant from the National Institutes for Health.
Well, the immune system changes with age.
Dr. Tiffany Hensley McBain's persistence has paid off.
So this grant has been in process since fall 2021 when I started here.
The Great Falls native has received a National Institutes of Health grant for more than $3.1 million for 5 years for Alzheimer's research.
So our Montana population is aging, and with that comes a risk of age-related diseases, and so we will see a spike in things like Alzheimer's disease over the next 5 to 10 years. And so our hope is that by studying these sorts of things at the McLaughlin, we can benefit our state.
Hensley McBain shares some of her research with colleagues Wednesday, including team members who will benefit from the funding.
So I have 3 full-time employees in my lab that are all scientists that were trained, and most of them born and raised here in Great Falls. And then I also have 5 students from Touro College of Osteopathic Medicine now in the lab.
According to the Alzheimer's Association, Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia. And while new treatments and therapies are being developed to potentially delay, prevent, or even cure Alzheimer's, Hensley McBain says the research leading up to that is vitally important.
So I'm very optimistic about where the science is moving and where we may be with therapies in the next 5 to 10 years. The benefit of continuing to do research like mine is that there's still more work to be done, and so hopefully all of these things coming together will see the end of Alzheimer's disease in the future.
The McLaughlin Research Institute has an internationally renowned reputation. Hensley McBain says she's fortunate to make a difference in the place where she grew up.
I feel so lucky that I've been able to come back here and do the work that I do right here in Great Falls, and again provide those training opportunities, but also work on a disease that's really hits home for a lot of Montanans.
In Great Falls, Tim McGonigal, MTN News.
Pretty incredible work. Thank you very much, Tim. Now, every year, the annual Arley Celebration selects one head man dancer and a head woman dancer to represent the powwow. And this year, MTN's Robin Iron learned from this year's head man dancer of what his role entails.
Every year, people gather at the annual Arley Celebration to watch dancers from all across the state. But one dancer in particular has a special role.
William Messiff Jr. was selected for this year's headman dancer, and he says he is honored to hold this title.
Honestly, it's a good feeling because especially at my hometown powwow, being around my family and my close friends, and it's just a great honor, no other way to explain it.
The headman is a selection process that happens each year by the powwow committee, and his grandfather has been selected as headman 5 times prior.
Tell my grandson, as you are out there being headman, you hold that responsibility. You bring out the dancers, you call out the dancers. You're the first one out there. You're the one who helps delegate everything.
Messeth said it is much more than dancing.
My reason why I continue to dance is to represent where I come from, represent my family, my tribe, and to dance for my close friends and close family members that have passed on.
The headman spends a year fundraising and will host a special contest to give back to the community at the end of the powwow. The Salish and Pend Oreille elders began the event over 100 years ago and want it to be a celebration.
The outside world calls it a powwow. We call it a celebration. It's a totally different thing. It's totally different. In my eyes, we come to celebrate the life. We come to celebrate the heartbeat of Mother Earth. We come to see our friends that we see because we travel every week and we're going somewhere different and we see a lot of our friends. So we do this as a way of life.
Messeth will hand off his title after this year's event, and the next headman and headwoman will be selected. In Arley, I'm Robin Iron, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Robin. Now for your Montana Agriculture Report this morning. Montana's #1 industry, well, is agriculture. And there is a wide variety when it comes to what is grown in the state. MTN's Kiana Wilson explores a unique agriculture business over in the Flathead.
When I started this, I wanted to be a little old lady walking in my lavender garden. That's all I wanted to do. And I'm here, this little old lady walking in my lavender garden. So how lucky am I?
Deb Davis of Purple Mountain Lavender is celebrating 20 years of her lavender farm in Lakeside.
I think the most important part is to get in there and get your hands dirty and be with the soil and smell the different scents of the different varieties of lavender. It's really an amazing plant, and you can do so much with it.
Purple Mountain Lavender is a working farm with over 1,500 lavender plants with 35 different varieties. Davis and her husband offer tours of the lavender farm, classes, and a retail store.
I think what inspires me is that the people, when they do come up, they're friendly, they're positive, they love lavender. So socially, it's great to see them meet other people that are taking the tour as well or doing a class, a chance for them to relax.
The tours offer a chance for people to see the beautiful lavender as well as to learn from a pro how to successfully grow lavender.
So you'll get a chance to smell those, you'll get to see all the different colors. Lavenders have different colors, different lengths of the stems, different smells, and which one is the best depends on which one you like.
While farming the lavender only takes place during the summer, Davis uses the winter months to make products that she sells at the farm, online, and to local vendors in Montana.
And it's just been a journey for us, and it keeps going. And it's great because when we open up during this short period of time, I just meet marvelous people like you all, and it's all good.
Purple Mountain Lavender is an environmentally friendly farm that does not irrigate because lavender is a drought-resistant plant, uses no fertilizers, and eco-friendly packaging for their products.
Once you get it started, it's a very hardy plant, and it can take a lot of our winters and our heat, but it's just, agriculture is tough. I have so much respect for anybody who does farming.
Davis's love for lavender is immense, and her dedication to teaching others makes for a fun, educational Montana experience. And like any other Montanan, she encourages people to get outside.
And get your hands dirty. Go out there and plant a flower, do something, be outdoors, and enjoy being here.
In Lakeside, Kiana Wilson, MTN News.
Well, and with beautiful summers like in Montana, just spend a little bit of time outside.
That's right.
Why not? Be
It's
beautiful.
pretty nice.
Now, of course, when you're outside, a lot of things on people's mind have got to be the drought, the wildfire season that's going on right now. But a little PSA to everybody, sometimes the fire you need to be worried about is the one inside your home. This is over in Colorado Springs. You see a dog turn on the stove in the middle of the night.
Looks like there's something on the stove, too.
I mean, I'm trying to look. Maybe it's a paper towel. I'm not too sure. But the burner is on. The burner slowly catches fire, and all caught on security footage. Look at how large it erupts.
So horrible.
It's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Now, thankfully, there were certain alarm systems and alerts set up in the home that they were able to get alerted.
Everybody was safe.
Everybody was able to get out. Now, there is one homeowner that is currently in the hospital due to smoke inhalation, you know, kind of getting that all checked out. But it's a good thing to keep an eye on your pets, even when you're asleep.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
not something that I ever think of,
I mean,
is my dog turning on the oven.
Me
or
neither. That's the
burner.
thing.
But
Yeah,
certainly, possibility, wow.
Yeah, it's just terrifying.
Scary.
I mean, that kind of sent a little shiver down my spine. Really, really scary stuff. Now, we're going to take a short break here on Montana This Morning, but when we come back, well, you've heard of family-run businesses. Heck, you might even know a few yourself. But what about a family-run rodeo team? We're going to introduce you to the Steagles when we come back.